So, welcome to Sovereign TV. This is going to be a trailer for the channel. I don't know if we still do that, but if you're watching this, that's cool. This is what it's about. So, the main premise that this channel is based off of is that all humanity is either striving towards sovereignty or trying to rob it, right? And what I mean by that is you're either trying to gain freedom or steal freedom. What that looks like in practicality right now in the West, because that's where, I'm from America, USA. And so in the United States, we call it getting rich, right? Because we've built a system and built lots of smart systems, lots of businesses, a lot of real estate, a lot of things that can grant you freedom, right? And if you have enough money, you kind of just get access to all of it. Because at a certain point, if you have enough money, you get access to all of it. I mean, this nice villa and place that I'm in Bali right now, obviously. And in Bali, the price of sovereignty is much cheaper. Because this villa, this is a co-working space, the Wi-Fi, like everything here is more affordable from the Western's point of view. And so, my sovereignty, because of my attachment to the USA, is higher. It's easier to obtain. But money is not the only metric to sovereignty. Obviously, the spiritual teachers talk about this. Everybody talks about this, and everybody kind of knows it. But it is the most universal way to achieve sovereignty because it's universal power points, right? At a certain point, someone can offer you so much money that it's kind of dumb to just say no, right? Like truly. And you can have whatever beliefs you want, as you should. But at a certain price point, you're almost about to do anything to get a dollar amount. And if it can't be bought, then that's cool. Someone else will, right? If you're not willing to do some degenerate acts for some money, right? That's okay. Someone else will. You're the anomaly. And that's cool. That's so great. That is so great that you have that high of moral standards. But at some point, especially if you're put in a really tough situation, those morality that goes down, right? If someone's sick in your family, that changes because now you love your family, your mother, your father, whoever's sick, more than your morally high standards. That's just one example, just to paint how it kind of is movable. It's not really fixed. And this whole channel is based off of the idea of, okay, what are the metrics? What are the movable switches? What's actually happening here? And we'll get all into the fun stuff on what's your sovereignty index? Where are you on the spectrum? And all these really cool things. But it's really complicated. But you have to simplify it, right? Everything is starts off complicated and then simplify. If it's simple, it takes no genius to complicate things. Any idiot can complicate things, right? My job and my mission here is to simplify not only where you are on the sovereignty index, but also give you a way towards what you want. And everybody's sovereignty is different, right? I'm using that placeholder word, but essentially there's certain levels of freedom that everybody wants, everybody needs. And some people watching this might think, man, you're really making this complicated. You're really just talking about financial freedom. And no, I'm not, because there's different types of sovereignty that equal whatever life you want, right? So if you want the sovereignty to live anywhere on the world, right, that's a very high level of sovereignty that you need to have, because it's not just money. It's also certain relationships that you have to make and contracts that you have to have with people and governments. That's a different level. Now, again, money, it's the universal power points. So, money makes all of this easier, right? If you're a billionaire, it's all of this is kind of it gets paid for. But you don't have to be a billionaire, and not everybody can be a billionaire in order to have that. But good news is you don't need to. And then if you don't want to live anywhere, everywhere in the world, let's say you just want to live somewhere relatively cheap, that's a good quality of life, again, you can accomplish that fairly easy. I mean, in Bali right now, if you make anywhere from, at the current moment of 2025, if you make anywhere from about $1,500 and above, you can kind of do whatever you want in Bali. If you make over, 4,000, I mean, you can literally do anything you want, right? As long as you're not so stupid. But in the States, you need to be making probably at least $4,000 a month to kind of just survive, comfortably, right? Comfortably, kind of do what you want, and then you have to be making above 10 grand a month to kind of do whatever you want to do and still save. But again, all these are like metrics, and like it's really hard and complicated. It's like, what do you mean? Da 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 da. And so that's what the channel is about, is like understanding what sovereignty indexes are where, and like really beautifully painting it out, and then eventually in the future, moving people from X amount to X amount, and showing how to do that. Because again, just like location sovereignty, you can have so much money and still be miserable, because you are not chemically sovereign. Your neurochemicals, your body, like there's so many levels of sovereignty that you need to achieve, and it's really not like infinite, but it virtually is infinite. There's really a core like four. There's core 4 levels of sovereignty that you need to have. That's location, that's your chemicals, that's your character, and your overarching story. Those 4 things, once you are sovereign in all 4 things, you truly have the best, most beautiful, most accentuated life possible. And any one of these can take you out. And that's the thing too, is people are like, they think that, oh, I'm a bad person. That's the character, right? That's the character. I'm a bad person. And so they keep trying to fix themselves, when in reality it might be the location. You're just in a bad location. You're in an area where, there's a lot of mold, there's a lot of heavy metals, and it's affecting all these 3. It's affecting your chemicals, because your chemicals, right, if you're feeling bad, it's that simple. Like, if you're feeling bad, it's easier to be bad, and then the story is you're a bad person. Like, and again, it's like you can fight it, you can fight the fine fight, and resist and force if you have to, but a lot of people don't have to. A lot of people just have to move. It's like no hard feelings. Like, you can't live in California, you have to live in Texas, or no hard feelings. You can't live in the United States, you have to live in Mexico, or whatever. It's like just move, just move. And you'd be surprised at how many problems just evaporate. Like, it's the opposite. Like, you know how you're not allowed to feel good here? Well, if you move somewhere else, you're not allowed to feel bad. And it really can be that simple. And so that's what this channel is about, is going through the nuances of each level with people. Obviously, there's way more to it. There's stories, there's character development, there's all these fun things that I'm not really seeing anybody talk about in a unique package, and with tests, like, and not like universal tests, but like, website tests and things like that really help you pinpoint where in my chemical structure, where in my story, in my soul, or anything, where am I messing up? Where's there a leakage? Because just like diagnosing a company, that's what I do. I help companies make more money. Sometimes it's not talent. Like, you're like, oh, I need a new person. No, you don't. You just need better leadership. Or maybe you're like, oh, I need more leads. I need more leads. And it's like, yeah, no, your leads are fine. Like, sure, if you get more leads, but like, you're kind of just wasting the leads that you have. It's more of a sales issue. Like, it's hard to, when you're in the story, it's hard to know what you actually need. And you can see that through all the movies that we watch. It's kind of the running joke, is like, you look at this character, and they're like, oh, I just need more money, or oh, I just need more, insert this. And then us as the audience is like, no, dude, like, you need this. It's like behind you, and you can't see it. And then they go on this crazy journey, this hero's journey, where they're just getting lost, and then eventually they give up, and then they look behind them, and they're like, oh, I just needed this. I just needed X, and they get it, and then boom, their whole story changes, and then they grow. And obviously that cycle keeps going, and that's how growth works, and that's fine. But a lot of people, there's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee that, or it takes too long, like, why would you want to only grow twice in a lifetime? Why would you only want to grow twice? And then why not make the growth fun, too? Because, like, growing doesn't have to hurt. Growing, like, it doesn't have to. It can hurt in the right ways. Like, none of this is absolutely necessary. Suffering is not necessary. It's optional. The more suffering you can handle, the better, for sure. But the only thing necessary in this life is pain. And our relationship to pain can change, which then suffering kind of diminishes or disappears in certain aspects. Like right now, I'm not suffering. At this exact moment, I'm having a great time filming this video. I'm uncertain about a lot of things, and there's a little bit of pain, like holding this microphone right here. Like, I wish I wasn't doing it. But there's no suffering behind it. It's just like, it's just how it is. It's the gravity. You kind of just get used to it, and you're fine with it, and then you just move through it, and it's great. And so, again, that's what this whole channel is going to be about, is showing where you are on this line, this figurative line. Again, the map is not the territory, and even things like that. Like, there's a lot of people that don't talk about what that even means. The map is not the territory. Maybe that'll be the next video. But, yeah. So if you're watching this, stick around, subscribe, and let's make some cool stuff.